Ezekiel's Wheel is here. We've been looking at Table Mountain for the past week or so off and on, and focusing on the symbol that's in the sky. And if you take a close look at the symbol that's being reflected at Table Mountain with the sun, it looks exactly like Ezekiel's Wheel. Someone sent me a message in the messenger. I can't remember her name, but thank you very much for doing it. I want to look at this article that was found in UFO Sightings Hotspot. Giant object like Ezekiel's Wheel enters our solar system. A giant object with shield up is observed on NASA's product on August the 9th of 2014. The object is similar to Ezekiel's Wheel, and it seems to enter our solar system. Of all the UFO accounts in the Bible, the one mentioned the most often is Ezekiel's Wheel, like the wheel within the wheel. Ezekiel's encounter with the wheels and the living creatures was probably a UFO sighting, while the extraterrestrial beings who pilot UFOs are indeed mentioned in the Bible. Ezekiel and the prophets did not confuse the extraterrestrial beings with God's own angelic messengers. We can see right here, Ezekiel 1. Now as I looked at the living creatures, I saw a wheel upon the earth beside the living creatures, one for each of the four of them. As for the appearance of the wheels and their construction, the four had the same likeness, being as it were a wheel within a wheel. The four wheels had rims, they had spokes, and their rims were full of eyes round about. And when the living creatures went, the wheels went beside them. And when the living creatures went, the wheels went with them. For the living creature was in the wheel. Ezekiel's imagery provided much of the basis for the Second Temple mystical tradition, in which the visionary ascended through the seven heavens in order to experience the presence of God and understand his actions and intentions. Furthermore, Ezekiel depicts the destruction of Jerusalem as a purificatory sacrifice upon the altar, made necessary by the abominations in the temple. The presence of idols and worship of the god Tammuz, which text you can read in the book of Ezekiel. The book of Ezekiel is the third of the major prophets in the Tanakh, and one of the major prophetic books in the Old Testament, following the books of Isaiah and Jeremiah. According to the book itself, it records 7 visions of the prophet Ezekiel exiled in Babylon during the 22 years from 593 to 571 BCE. The visions and the book are structured around 3 themes: judgment on Israel, judgment on the nations, and the future blessings for Israel. I've looked at the dates on some of these NASA products, and you can see the sun. It looks like it has ships coming out both sides of it, and the ships, they have the ability, like they're firing something. They have the ability to go back into the sun. Watch it, see? And you can see the timestamps right there. Goes back in, it comes out, and they're able to fire something from the sun. And you know we did a video not too long ago about he's angry. That was inside the sun. He's angry. There was clearly a face of a being inside the sun, and he was angry. So look at this right here, and let's look at this, how this comes up. When the sun rises in the morning, it literally looks like it's got flaring down at the bottom. Have you noticed that? As it rises, the flaring, and I believe it's these things right here on the side. This is actually what's causing it. And again, here is the image of Table Mountain. And look at the image. It's Ezekiel's wheel, the vision of them. And look at it. It's as clear as day. Look right here. It seems to be coming from this right here, right in front of the sun. They're both the same size as the image being projected, as you can see right here. Something's going on, and they don't want us to talk about it, but I'm talking about it. I feel led to it. So we're going to watch a time lapse of some of the live stream yesterday. I have zoomed it up probably it's probably zoomed up to 8 times the normal speed. And I'm just going to let you watch how these clouds, form in the sky, and think about what you saw. Think about Ezekiel's wheel and how this image is being projected in the sky and those orb-like things in front of the sun, and then look at NASA's own product, how it looks like guns coming out of the side of the sun, and because they clearly retract, and then so-called comets that head straight toward the sun. Isn't that interesting? Because we've documented those too. Those comets headed straight to the sun, and then something goes off, boom, just like that, because the sun is not what we've been told at all. I think there is something so much greater happening, and the world is not aware of the severity of what is happening, what is taking place right now. And as you know, that we documented the ships at Table Mountain in Cape Town, South Africa, in the clouds. They're like a 99.9% match of the light ships that I started documenting back in 2018. And we also documented ships at the observatory in Hawaii. So there is something major happening, and the information seems to be, they're trying to keep a lid on it. They're trying to keep a lid on it in order to keep control, because could you imagine the impact that this would have and that it will have when the people realize that Ezekiel's wheel is not just some Bible story, his visions and stuff. No. It's real. It's real. There's other beings other than humans. There's other worlds. There's other dimensions. And Ezekiel's wheel, now we have a pretty clear understanding of what it looks like, because there it was. And it's pretty amazing. It really is. I'm going to pause right here and let you watch the rest of this timestamp right here, time lapse of the video.